Hello and welcome. So today I'm going to be talking about Kullervo here. Kullervo is just completely unnecessary, and I love every single minute of it. I have been playing this Warframe since his release in Duviri, and through the years he has just gotten stronger and stronger and stronger. This Warframe is completely just fucking bonkers, and I love every little second of it. I am not going to go into a full guide breakdown or anything with Kullervo and his abilities. I'm going to show off this high investment build and show and discuss ways to tweak it so that you can get your own little, variant of God mode, if you will. So with that being said, let's hop into this here. For starters, I'm going to go over the Archon shards here. The only real one that's mandatory is going to be this Crimson Ability Strength shard. This does not have to be Tau Forged necessarily. Don't get me wrong, it is better, of course. But this doesn't have to be Tau Forged, and I can show you how to tweak that in the build here in a second. Everything else here is pretty much to taste, especially the duration here. I just really enjoy having the crit damage. Just makes big numbers, funny numbers, love them, brain likes them, hits the dopamine, all good. If you don't like these, if these don't trigger your almonds like they do for me, hey, swap them out for something else. Maybe one of these you want to be casting speed, or maybe you want an equilibrium shard or something like that that's here. That's perfectly fine. These aren't necessarily a part of the God mode pieces itself. This one is like a part of it. You can kind of say like we're building Exodia in a way. Instead of 5 pieces, it's 5.5 pieces. This would be the 0.5, because the important thing here is that we hit the 200 power strength kind of stopgap here. So that is needed for Collective Curse. Collective Curse at 200% power strength is going to give the damage redirection 100% to all enemies within Collective Curse. So when you're hitting one, you're hitting all. You can throw this down a hallway, hit one dude, and clear the whole damn hallway. With a gun, with a melee weapon. It does not matter, they all die. So that is the reason for the Strength Shard here being somewhat mandatory. With that being said, let's get into the build here just really quick, and I can show you how to get around that. So with this, because I'm using Overextended, all you would need to do to make that work is that. There you go. You just use a 1 rank lower Overextended. That then puts the power strength, well, for me, at 214. So if you have a regular Crimson shard that isn't Tau Forged, you're going to be at 204. Hey, what do you know? That is literally what I'm at. Go figure. Now, your range will go down a little bit, but that shouldn't impact the build too much. I think you lose, what, a meter or so? Yeah, that's 16. I think this goes down to 15. Yeah, so you lose a meter there, which it's a meter all around you, so it's a circle. It's a meter within a circle, so it can matter, it may not matter, but I highly doubt it'll matter all too much. Because the main pieces of the build that you need, the Exodia, if you will, is going to be the triple Umbral Suite here to get you a bunch of health, a bunch of armor. This is going to pair insanely well, shocker, with Arcane Persistence, and then Volatile Recompense just brings everything together. These two were missing pieces to the whole build. Granted, we've had volatile recompense for a little while, and with that we just ran max range and just didn't care half the time. When volatile recompense first came out, Kullervo was essentially deemed immortal. There were a few fringe times where you could die, sure, but basically he was kind of immortal. Now, with Arcane Persistence and then using the triple Umbral Suite here, he is basically immortal with the higher end build here that I have. I do understand that not everyone just has some Umbral mods laying around. This is a pretty damn good use of them, I dare say. Just to make sure that basically Kullervo just can't die. Because there is, the reason why we go for this level of overkill, or why I do it, I guess, is there is a downtime between when the Overguard gate breaks and then when Volatile Recompense reactivates. Within that time, Kullervo can take damage. In that damage window, if you're not running Persistence, you can die. Having all of this plus Persistence stops that. It's basically kind of that simple. The only way that you can die more or less is if Persistence gets nullified or silenced, which the only real way that Persistence is going to be nullified outside of violence is going to be a magnetic status proc, but with Overguard, you don't have, statuses don't matter. And you getting a status proc in the interim between Volatile Recompense being down and then popping back up is very unlikely to happen. At least I have not had that happen to myself. So this is the pieces needed to basically make Exodia. So long as the build has these 5 components, you can basically do whatever the fuck you want. I don't think it's going to matter too much. I will go ahead and preface this by saying, depending on how you change the build, your mileage with, your particular variant of God mode may vary. Speaking of that, though, with my version, I have really enjoyed using Nourish. So the extra just viral that you get from this, the energy that you get from this, that also works very well with the energy nexus here, just makes everything come together and is very nice to have on the build. This can also be Roar too. This can realistically be whatever you want, so long as it makes sense on the build itself, or for whatever your particular build is. Roar, whatever. If you are going with Roar and you want more power strength or whatnot, you can mess with the Archon shards and put more power strength there. You can take this off, maybe you don't need the energy. You can throw extra power strength here. Depends on whatever it is that you want or need to do. But for my build, I'm going to go over the mods here outside of the ones I just covered. So, Corrosive Projection, less armor, more damage, always good. Cunning Drift just goes with Overextended for more range. I want as much range as possible, and that helps with that. Again, if you're running something that wants power strength, then maybe the lesser, you don't care about the lesser range. This can easily just turn into Power Drift or something, or maybe you want to go ahead and run Preparation to go ahead and have max energy at spawn. That's fine too. I don't foresee that being that big of a deal. Prime Continuity for duration. We want as much duration on Recompense, Wrathful Advance, and Nourish as we can. So duration is always welcome. That's also why I have an Archon shard for it. And I know I touched on Energy Nexus earlier. You can also use Equilibrium if you want. I was using this, but I found Energy Nexus, especially with Nourish, to just be more consistent. And also, in the future, when we do end up getting augments for Collective Curse or Wrathful Advance, if they're good enough to be to put in the build, this would likely be what we take out, at least what I would take out, to add one of those augments in. That it's going to be a pretty tall ask, because Kullervo's already insane. Granted, everything else with this Warframe has been nuts, so if he gets another really strong augment, it wouldn't surprise me too much. And then rounding out the build here, got 3,000 plus health, Bellicose, automatic include, helps with the power strength. Just kind of a no-brainer here. And this is the build. Again, these 5 things here, these are mandatory. Everything else you can kind of do whatever you want and you should be fairly fine. Alright, and then going into the weapons here, running the Fell Arcs, just really solid, great weapon right now, especially with, wrong weapon. Especially with Bulwark just adding so much damage because of the armor. So that's really nice. But going over my evolutions here, this, I don't think I've changed my evolutions since the Fell Arcs came out. This has just been a massive, just dump your shots into an enemy target and they just die. You just shove this thing up someone's arse and it just dies. It does. No one likes it. No one likes it. Boy, I know I flashed the build on here for a little bit, but this is the Bulwark build that I've been using. You can, if you've got the Forma for it, I do not, you can use the primed ammo stock here if you have it to go ahead and go over the atomic fall off. I just like this here for the extra little bit of radiation, and then I still get a little bit of magazine capacity, so that is nice. But if you wanted to go just maximum into it, this would probably just go in here and you'd be fine. If for whatever reason you don't have Bulwark, you can just use Crux. That's what this is. This is what my other Warframe builds and whatnot use, and this is still more than fine. The damage is going to be less because, you know, Bulwark, but you're going to shoot something and it's going to cease to exist, and that's kind of the point of this. Then I like using the Lotto Vandal myself. The secondary doesn't matter too much here. I'll just flash the evolutions on screen for anyone who is curious. The secondary can be, again, whatever you want. Same thing for the primary, honestly, too. I just really like using the Fell Arcs with the Bulwark. This is going to be running secondary dexterity just for the extra melee duration. That helps. I know that we're on Naramon for melee, but still adding ability duration is nice. That way, you know, you're not always worried about your combo not being at 12 or whatnot. I know that there is a ribbon in here. Don't worry, it's not that serious. Just throw in Toxin here. It's the same, it just does a little less damage. And for what it's worth, I'm probably not going to be using this. I'm probably just going to be using the melee here. And then this is the regular build that I have for the Lotto if someone wanted a just regular build for that. So there's that. And then the Tysus, I believe that's how you pronounce that. I love this thing's incarnate. It's just, the range on this thing is bonkers. This thing has been really, really fun. I'm just going to hover over the evolutions here because this is an incarnate weapon and evolutions are important. I'm pretty sure the explosives with this also do more damage with Nourish, but don't quote me on that. And I'm showing off the Tysus. Again, you can use whatever melee you want, so long as it has a decent build. Hell, probably even if it doesn't have a good build with it, you could probably give Kullervo a fucking spork and he'd red crit with it. Like, I really don't think it matters. And then the actual build here for the Tysus is going to be Oh, that's Talus. There's an L there. I can't read. But this build is just going to be a standard influence. I know, I'm just breaking so much ground here. This can be Primed Fury if you want it to be. I use this on other Warframes, and I just like having the extra combo chance here just regularly. So I'm lazy. I don't feel like changing this out. If you want to go ahead and make this be Prime Fury, by all means go ahead. It's 15% more melee attack speed. I use this on other Warframes, and I value the combo chance. And again, Kullervo don't give no shit. So yeah. Companion really doesn't matter. This can be whatever synergistic companion you want it to be. I'm just using Helios because I will use Kullervo in newer tile sets or story missions and whatnot, and I use Helios to take pictures. So we are going to load into our little survival here, and I'm going to essentially just whip a bunch of baby seals into submission. This isn't going to be... This is basically
These
Nathan's.
are worthy foes. Underestimate them at your peril.
You do want to start with Nourish, so that while you're just kind of waiting around, or you know, if you're in like a normal mission or whatnot, you can go ahead and passively just collect energy through the energy nexus that I have in the build. And with that, with this phallus here, one of those evolutions means that I get to, they're already dead, go into the Incarnate at 3 times combo, which is so nice. Ran out of that. Yeah, this is Kullervo. He just don't give a shit. I can just run through enemies. 4 days. It does not matter. Look at this thing. I love how this thing looks. It just looks like a menace. Reminds me of like the power pole, kind of. Not with like how it looks, just like how long it gets. Whoop. Need this, this, there we go. And there we go. And yink. I have not had a single moment with Kullervo where I've ever been in fear of dying. So I really hope that you guys get to try out the build and have a good time with it, because this is some wacky shit. Oh, actually, I can kind of showcase. All right, so they're all linked. Now they're all dead. Oh, I lied. I guess I did use the lotto. Oops. So we're gonna link all in. One shot. See? That's how Collective Curse works. They all die. Every weapon is an AoE weapon if you're Kullervo. It just does not matter with this Warframe. And the best thing is when you're doing a heavy attack build like what this kind of is, if you miss that input and you just do a regular heavy attack because of the passive, you don't lose all your combos, so that's really nice.
Incoming.
Whoops, didn't mean to press that. See? Yink, yink, yink. This is Kullervo. This is what he do. Boy, interested to see how that new ink-based frame is that we saw. Looks like that Warframe came out of like Clair Obscure. Even though they said it was a Mario reference, when I first saw it, it looked like a Clair Obscure reference to me. But I mean, I'm not D. I'm not the devs. I can't tell them where to get inspiration from. I'm going to laugh in the dev stream if they do say it's also inspired by Clair Obscure, though. because that game is phenomenal, and I will not stop singing its praises about how damn good that game is. If you are this far in the video and you have not played Clair Obscur Expedition 33, please, for the love of God, play the game. It is really good. I'm not the biggest fan of turn-based games myself, and that game is a lot of fun. Seriously, treat yourself. Just have some fun with it. It is an amazing game. Was one of those red sticks the shrapnel charges that come off this thing? I don't know. Oops. Oh no! You're gone! What up? Am I not gonna get an acolyte? Come on. But yeah, as you can see, this is a whole lot of nothing. I could be in the simulacrum just standing still, doing nothing, and just not die. It realistically just doesn't matter. Because of all the overguard, because of the overguard gates, because of everything that Kullervo is, there just isn't much in this game that can do. Who the fuck stole my melee? Alright, y'all are dying. I'm over here fucking aura farming, and I get interrupted. How dare you? You are all dying. I can't, but the audacity.
Our operative is making progress. This will help our cause.
How dare you?
When you need it, extraction is ready.
Hey, there we go. Oh, it's angst. I was hoping for violence, but whatever. Alright, where is he? See? Told you. Not that I think anyone doubted me, but yeah. Kullervo. Acolyte Hunter Extraordinaire. The man that gives a zero fucks. That is Kullervo in a nutshell. But yeah, hope you liked the video. Hope you learned something. Hope I could help. If you stayed to the end, you're awesome and I appreciate you.
What you've learned here will serve you well.
I'll see you next time. There's, of course, more vids on the way. Later.